Hello, Inspire and Illuminators. This is Jennifer Engel, CEO and founder of Inspire and Illuminate. There is another branch to Inspire and Illuminate that I like to do once in a while called Engel's Essences. And last night was a full moon and a blue moon, and I heard Spirit say to me that that would be a perfect time to make my next essences, which, to be honest, I haven't made since spring. So what I'm going to be doing today is basically showing you how to make your own flower essences, if that is something that you would be interested in, using the method that I have here and that I have learned on how to make essences. So one of the things that you're going to do, you're going to notice that I made 3 essences. Here's the first one, here's the second one, and here's the third one. So basically what you do is you get some clear jars, or if you have a clear glass bowl, that could work as well. And you notice, what I like to do is I like to not just make my essences based with the flowers, but what I also like to do is I like to make my essences based on what's going on in the universe. So for example, when I made a crocus essence this spring, I made it on Easter. I made these essences based on the full moon and the blue moon because I believe that that adds just a little extra spiritual oomph. So what you do is you find some spring water. I bought some from Whole Foods. You can, if you know your own natural spring, go to that. I have also just taken tap water, but then let it sit out for like 24 hours to kind of re-ionize or whatever it does. What I did was I went into my yard, and at this time in my yard, Echinacea is flowering a lot. Rose of Sharon is flowering a lot, and when I looked online for the meaning behind these flowers, they kind of went together well. Most of the time I would probably keep the flowers separate, but this time I decided to combine 2 flowers into one essence. Also, lilies are in bloom right now, so I decided to make an essence out of that. And as I make it, I'll also kind of explain what these flowers are. The other thing that's flowering in my yard right now is hostas. So just a quick theory on what all these are. So the full moon, the blue moon is a rare thing. It only happens every couple of years. And because of that, the meaning behind the full moon and the blue moon is uniqueness, okay? Creativity, things that we might not experience in our average month or year. So then also the Rose of Sharon and the Echinacea is like a release from trauma, a release from blocks. And that also kind of goes with the full moon and the blue moon. If we've been holding things back. What I found this last full moon and blue moon with myself, and then when I attended my writers group today, I heard this theme come up again, is anger. A lot of divine feminine energy, it appeared, experienced a lot of surge in anger during this full moon and blue moon, and I believe the universe is trying to have us release that. So the Echinacea and the Rose of Sharon is a release from blocks and a release from trauma. And then that full moon, blue moon is allowing that divine energy to come in. And speaking of divine energy and sacred feminine, with the full moon and the blue moon, the moon in any culture is known as being a feminine energy because she regenerates herself every 28 days. In the Native American culture, Ojibwe call her Nokomis, or grandmother moon. In Minnesota, there's actually a lake Nokomis. And so the lily, it turns out, is also female energy. The color is yellow and orange, which represents the sexual and the power chakra. And so, I didn't really know this till it's online, but the lily is to kind of, you could use some of these in conjunction with each other. It could be releasing taboos or blocks that may be stopping or hindering your female sexual power. Then, when I looked online for hostas, hostas are supposed to create joy, almost giddiness. So if you use these three essences together, you might experience some pretty powerful shifts. So as I start using them, maybe I'll let you know how it goes. All right, so I told you the meaning behind the flowers that I chose. So what you do is you find some flowers that are blooming in your yard. Maybe you want to keep track or figure out what the moon cycle is. And it doesn't have to be a full moon, it could be a new moon. Each phase has its different properties and powers. So then what you do is you take a scissors and you cut the flower and you let it just drop into the jar. You don't want to touch it. If that's hard for you, you can get a pair of chopsticks and kind of place them in there. I know sometimes the flower will get stuck at the top, and so then I just lightly tap them in with the chopsticks. Then what you do is you fill it up with water and you let it sit. So if it's in the sun, you could say a water prayer, or I don't actually always say my thoughts out loud, but I do sit and I contemplate what the flowers mean, the colors. And then to be honest, I will go away for a couple hours or sometimes even 24 hours if I want the full moon, blue moon property to sink in as well. So in some aspects, both energy, the sun and the moon, are in this water. So then you let it sit for a while and then you come back to it, and you really want to have a clear mind and be joyful. You don't want to be angry or anything when you're making these, because I also believe your energy is transformed into these. And so what you do is you get yourself some vodka. That's what I like to use. You can use any other liquor that is 80 or 90 proof or above. And the whole purpose of the alcohol is not to get you drunk. The whole purpose is to keep the flower essence fresh and pure, like a preservative. What you do, and if you had one, you could do a funnel, but I'm kind of a flaming mystic, so I'm not an engineer. I'm not about precise, precision. I'm about half and half. So I went and I also got these bottles at Whole Foods. You can also get them in line. Another thing I've done is a friend of mine takes vitamin B12, and it comes in a bottle like this, and she gives them to me when she's done, and then I just make sure I run them through the dishwasher heat cycle and really clean them up before I use them for flower essences. So I do reuse my bottles. Okay, so basically what you do is you're going to take your bottle and you're going to fill it up. Now it depends. There are different things. I guess what I'm making is called the mother bottle. I learned this from a woman in Arizona who actually teaches how to make flower essences at a university. So these are called mother bottles, where you're going to do like a 50-50 mix. Later, I could put them into a smaller bottle. In fact, maybe I'll just do that really quickly now, just so that you can see how it's done. What you do is you take the water from your flower essence, and I'm going to do about a half. Fill it up about halfway. It's about right. And then I'm going to take my vodka and I'm going to fill it up halfway. Okay, so this would be what we call a mother bottle, where you could make daughter bottles from it. This is a half and half mix. Now, if you're used to working with tinctures, or you're used to working with essential oils, those are medicinal, that you actually put on your skin, so it's a physical effect that you're going to feel. Flower essences work at the spiritual level or the cellular level. So you might take a drop or two. Generally they recommend taking 3 drops 3 times per day. To be honest, I only take maybe 3 drops once a day in the morning. What I've noticed is extreme shifts. That's what's going to happen. You're not going to notice physical shifts. You're going to notice life pattern shifts, things that will just change throughout how you live your life and what will look around you, hopefully in a positive way. But sometimes it might get a little bit worse before it gets actually better. And if you pay attention to Inspire and Illuminate, I will be teaching a lesson about things can get worse before they can get better in just a couple of weeks. So to make a daughter bottle, what you do is the same thing. You're going to want to probably fill it up about halfway or so with vodka. And then from a mother bottle, you're going to fill it up the rest of the way. And for that, I actually just kind of use a dropper to kind of get it a little bit more precise until it's filled up. Now, to be honest, I was given all of the paperwork on why you do mother bottles and why you do daughter bottles, but you know, they just say it's supposed to work this powerfully even in a daughter bottle. So in the end, you're actually going to end up having quite a bit of it if you even just make one essence. Because this will probably make 4 to 6 bottles for me. And those are 4 to 6 mother bottles. And then if you make more of these bottles, there you go. So you can see you're going to end up with a lot of flower essence, which is good because then you'll have it for the whole year. You can also begin to share it with your friends. The other thing that I do is I make a label for it. I'll just take one that I have previously made before. So I will write what flower essence it is. So I might say something like full moon, blue moon, rose of Sharon, echinacea. And then I'm also going to say what it's for. So it would be to clear blocks and allow spiritual energy in. I'm also going to put the date on it. These flower essences should be good for at least 7 years. So I might even actually put the expiration date on there. So I might say like 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 to 2022. To be honest, I'll probably use a bottle like this within a couple of months. But who knows how long I'll have the mother bottles. So that's how you make your own flower essences. And I will be continuing to work on the lily and the hosta essence myself. I will post a picture on Engel's Essences, and I hope that you've learned something today. If you have any questions about flower essences or how to clear blocks or anything like that, you can give me a call. You can contact me on Engel's Essences or on Inspire and Illuminate. And I hope that you have a good day, and peace and blessings to you.